Okay, here's round two. It's about a year later. I actually, this is COVID, a week later. Um, it's a year. I don't remember exactly. I have to look it up and I'll get a better sense of exact timing. But here's the beloved um, 24 ounce waxed twill, green, all the things. I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see shit. Let's see. Oh, this bizarre thing hanging off my head is the microphone, as you probably already intuited. Anyway, the I was kind of looking it over just to try to see what to cut, what to draw out, other and discuss, other than a few thoughts I had, overarchingly. But I was reminded that I actually sent the coat back since the video because Jason reached out to me after seeing the video and was like, "Hey, let me send it in and let me take off those adjusters because in my video I said, I don't excuse me, I don't tend to use those, snap adjusters." He's like, "Send it back. I'll take them off." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, cool. You don't have to do that, but while you've got it there, if you don't mind sourcing a brass zipper to match the shiny brass snaps." He's like, "Yeah, totally, no problem." So he did that, and because the zipper that came was an antique brass, and just because we hadn't talked about that, nor had I really thought about it. But once I was sending it back, I was like, "Yeah, well, please." And he said, "Any other ideas you've got about the fit?" And I said, "You know what? It's a little broad on my back. It's not a big deal, but I don't know how difficult is that." And he's like, "It's kind of tough. Why don't I just rebuild you a jacket?" I was like, "I don't want you to do that because it's not that big of a deal." And he said, "Okay, well, let me mull it over and I'll get back to you." Jason took apart the entire jacket, which is a really big pain in the ass because it's not just like, I mean, once you get one of these in your hands, you're going to see just how much goes into this. I mean, it is a tremendously thick piece of fabric. And I mean, this is the wool lining. I said cotton in the last one. I guess it is cotton wool, but just more specifically, the wool lining all the way through. Anyway, it's a massive undertaking for a guy who's got loads of work to do. So, ever more a conversation about how Jason is, I don't know, one of a kind. I don't know how to say it. I mean, the we'll get into it in a second. All I mean to say by that is that he pulled it apart, and then he told me, he's like, when I pull it apart, you're going to see some of the stitching look a little different. So I looked back at the back of the coat. I was like, "Oh yeah, here's some stitches that, look like they may have been, I don't know, pulled. That's pulled isn't the right word, but sort of just like stressed." But then I remembered it's not that. He pulled apart the jacket in its entirety and stitched back through the same holes. So there is some like stress on some of the holes, but that's because he pulled apart the entire jacket, put it back together, and tried to reuse, and did, in fact, reuse all of the same holes that he'd made with the original stitching. I don't know if any of you have ever done any work with a sewing machine or like stitch. I mean, that is A, very difficult, B, extraordinarily time consuming, and C, a massive pain in the ass. So he did all of that. I don't know another company in the world, frankly, that would do that. There was this one company, I can't remember the name of it right now, but they're out of the Northwest also. And a friend of mine gave me a down, a down coat from them. I'll remember it, or I'll try to add it into the, comments or whatever in the description, because they're a really cool company. But small company. Anyway, I had this coat. It didn't have pockets. It was like a down shirt kind of thing, but it was quite puffy. Couldn't fit under this, and but it didn't have hand warmers. And I was like, "This is useless. When I'm going to wear a coat like this, I want to be able to put my hands in it. That's just me." So I sent it back to them and I said, "Hey, would you consider adding pockets?" They said, "Absolutely." I've never seen another company that is that accommodating, um, in the sense that they would take that into consideration. Loads of companies that I've explored that I could talk to you about that is reserved for another video, but that company, I was really happy that they did that. This is level 1000 compared to that. This is This is Jason deconstructed this jacket to pull in the back. I mean, he basically rebuilt the jacket. I mean, it's a tremendous gift he gave me, because he didn't charge me for that. And Jason, I'll be eternally grateful for that, because the coat fits that much better because of it. Anyway, I have worn this coat regularly. It's been a year. I'd say out of the year, maybe 200 plus days. Other than the summers here in North Carolina, which are too hot for this. So minus, let's say, plus or minus 60 days. 200 to 300 days of wear. I I have not popped a thread. Let's see if you can see this. It's quite tough to see, but you see that in the cuff there, a little bit of like a frayed stitch, just a little thing there. We got some stains and stuff in there, just from wearing and scratching and, typical kinds of wear. There's nothing I can really say. Again, there are some stitches on the back that kind of look a little bit like the, let's see if we can locate one or two. Yeah, that's not a good representation of it, because that's actually where, maybe here, you can see those stitches on the back, maybe, kind of like right here-ish. Let's see, what is, maybe, yeah, really that's kind of the best representation of it, somewhere right here. I am trying to find something to show you that could possibly be wear, but I honestly think most of what I just showed you, other than sort of that sleeve wear, there's none on the other sleeve. That back, these back stitches that I showed had a little abrasion, or a little bit of a, I don't know what you'd say, like a little bit of wear. That's almost certainly from where he pulled the coat apart. The only thing I can possibly see would be that just a couple of stitches that look like they got some fray on them. They're not broken. They're just like frayed. And I wear this coat, I had no intention of working in it, but I tend to just do yard work or cut wood or whatever it is for the wood stove. I'm out here doing stuff in it, or out there doing stuff in it, but kind of on the fly here, try to give you a sense. Yeah, that's the same spot. As my eyes keep going back to this on the sleeve. Right there, you can, let me hold it between my legs here. See if I can sort of show some stitching like right here. If you can get your eyes on that, it's so nominal, but it's the only real wear I'm seeing, and that. They're not broken. It's just like a little, and actually one of them is the end of a thread. It looks like it just kind of might have gotten rubbed on wood, or because I carry wood in my arms at times. Anyhow, nothing. Not a single errant stitch from a broken. Not a broken stitch from the idea that there was ever an actual issue of stretch. So as you see me putting this on over layers, this is my actual only complaint of this jacket, is that he's one of the only people who's ever lined a jacket fully through the arms that I've ever seen. I mean, I've got a Filson coat that did it. There are some out there for sure, but I have to kind of ride my sleeves out, I have to grab them and ride them out, because the wool kind of grabs hold of them. But when he pulled it in the back, it did shorten the sleeve a little bit for me, which in the end doesn't bother me a bit. Under here is like a blue Henley. Henley's just got the 3 buttons right here. It's like just an undershirt. It's long sleeve and then this is a wool shirt from the company S.E.H Kelly, which I totally love. They're out of Great Britain. We can talk more about that at a later date. But anyhow, that's 2 layers underneath, and that's totally perfect for me. And the sleeves are a tad short. I mean, not short, because look at, I mean, I can get them over my, let's see if I can give you a better view of that. You know, when I reach out, maybe they're a tad short for me, like on my motorcycle or something. That's why I asked Jason to make them longer, but it's totally perfect and fine. It actually works out better most of the time that I'm wearing it, because I want some of my warm layers to kind of make sure they get to the forefront. And I don't love it when the sleeves cover my hands per se. So it actually, when my hands are down by my side, they're perfect. I'll snap it here, give you a sense of that. It's perfect. I mean, I'm nitpicking at little things because I am an extremely particular human when it comes to fitting stuff. Probably most of us are. But hands by my side, if you look at my palms, back of my hands, it's perfect. There's no way to make it's absolutely perfect. You know what it actually comes down to a lot, I think, is that the jacket is so stiff that no matter what you do, it has a feeling. And I love that. I'm a tactile kind of person. That's one of the reasons was seeking out a coat like this, because I love the feeling of armor, of like, I like being held and stuff. Wool shirts, thick jeans, like it's kind of, I like leather boots. It's like, and or whatever, I just like things that fit nicely. I like things that feel good. Yeah, so it's a stiff coat. You feel everything. So if it's like a little bit in this movement or that movement that feels particular, you're gonna notice it because it's that substantial. All of that said, not to make this video super long, absolutely perfect. It is in no worse to wear. Actually, the patina is even cooler and more beautiful. Got a few marks on it. I wear it. I really put it through its paces. I'm not working in it per se. I'm not like day in and day out, working in it. Hard work. So I can't attest to that. But just in terms of the money you're putting into it, the investment itself, this jacket will last longer than I do. I'm certain of that. I'll pass it down to my son, and I mean, I have no doubts that it will endure anything that I'll put it through. And for like an abrasion on a thread, I mean, come on, it's amazing. It's far exceeding the expectation I had in terms of its ability to wear within my body. When I first picked it up, it's so dense, it's so heavy. I was like, how is this thing going to start to shape and feel? And boy, if I can say anything about how beautifully if you wear denim, my son is approaching. If you wear denim and you like, sort of like that style of denim, where you like selvage or some sort of stiff denim where you like to kind of wear it in and get a sense of, and it starts to kind of form and shape to your body. That's something that's really important to me. Or like, again, something I really, what is it? I really appreciate and I seek in clothes, is like the ability to make it mine. I don't want to buy something generic that this ends up feeling like it's generic. This coat came, it was heavy, it was dense. I've worn it, as I said, 200 to 300 days this year, and it is mine. You put this coat on, it might feel weird to you, but it is mine. It falls into every crease of my body. It fits exactly as I want it. It sits exactly as my body has asked it to. It has formed and become my garment. I love that. I mean, what else can you ask for? I think part of the thing to consider is, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I run the risk of saying too much in terms of this particular subject, but there are companies, all the ones that I've talked about in the past video, and that if you've explored the market for this sort of vibe, a 24 and 18 ounce plus the wax 24-ounce twill coat, there's only a couple out there, and it's growing, but there's only a couple that will. It's Tin Duck and Ship John, and like I said, I've owned some Ship John stuff, and I'm gonna tell you, and I like those guys. It has nothing. It's not personal, although I did have one bad experience with them. But life is long, and I don't hold a grudge against them. It's not a grudge thing. I have owned a hat of theirs, very cool, beautiful like hat, but the stitching is is not awesome. It's not perfect. There's broken threads already, and it's I don't know. It's not. it just, I own a wallet from them. It's all beautiful stuff, and I'm not shitting on them. I'm really not. I'm just saying this is a different level of quality. It's one guy. He knows exactly what he wants. He's got a standard. Again, this is not in comparison to other companies so much as it is to just lift this one up. It's those, everyone else is out there doing their best. I'm not someone who wants to, like, you know, I don't know, cause. I'm not someone who is judging for judgment's sake. I'm just saying I appreciate trying to get the best stuff I can, and if you're gonna put an investment in something like this, where it's kind of a bit of an heirloom piece, if you will, you know. I know this is a funny little aside here, but like I love the idea, like when I'm gone, when I'm no longer on this planet, that my son will put this coat on and he was like, this is what my dad felt like. I don't know. That's me. It's an insight into my mind. I love that feeling. So it's an heirloom piece in that way, and I just wanted it to hold up. And you're not going to find anything better. You're just not. That's that. If you have any questions or you have any comments, I've been answering comments for the year, and I'm happy to continue. Jason is, I think, flourishing. I've got a little bit of a teaser. I got a new piece from him coming. I'm not exactly sure when, sometime in the next month, I think. So I'll try to get that one out. Oh, I wanted to do one more thing for you, just to show you a bit of another layer, just to get a sense. This is the medium. Again, I'm a 40-inch chest. This is a large shirt in the S.E.H Kelly. They tend to run tailored and such. You can see I'm not large in a lot of places, but in the arms and the shoulders. This is a jacket from them. It's what do you call it? Linen. It's a really beautiful coat. This is a what do you call it? Linen? Did I say that already? It's a heavy linen. It's hard to even give you a sense of it, but and again, large. So like I'm a 40-inch chest, and I think I didn't measure it. I actually want to do a review on this because I love this coat and this company. It's a lighter coat, but you saw what I had underneath. I had the wool. Got to grab hold of it as I put my arms through the jacket. That's everybody's sort of plight, I think, but I can do it. And I think that's one of the things about this coat, is that it's totally, it can do what you need it to do, because it is a bit more broad in its approach, in the cut. This is my edge, in terms of what I want to put under it. And even this is probably a tad much for me, just in terms of because under this I feel really substantiated. I feel like I got a lot going on. There's 3 layers, and then this being the fourth. It's doable though. This is an incredible shell. The wool liner is warm, but here in Carolina in the winters, I'm out watching my son play soccer and train or whatever, and it's down into the 20s Fahrenheit, that is. And I really I can stay warm when I've got layers, and I can do it. This is, again, a medium, his 22.5, I think it was, from pit to pit. And you can still see there's a little width to it in terms of the back. And that allows for more layering. But it doesn't feel super wide because it's formed to my body. And I don't think, it's not particularly wide here. It's not like so much room. I love it for this purpose. I will wear it by itself in the spring. I will wear it with multiple layers in the fall and winter. And what else to say? I will say this. Jason, I'm super grateful because he is busy. But he continues to accommodate. I hear it from you all when you send in your questions, or you send in your comments about what your experience has been. He's the same to you as he is to me. He's a great person. He accommodates as best he can, kind of all requests. And what other company do you know he actually just watched the video? What other company is A, watching the video, and B, making the adjustments that I and regarding the concerns that I had. As a matter of fact, by the way, I made some comment to him about the sleeve and having to push through, and that the liner was floating. He stitched it in when he pulled the whole thing apart. Good luck finding that anywhere else at this level of quality. If you're in the market for a 24-ounce twill wax coat, look no further. Tim Duck is your golden goose.